Welcome into Big Z Sports' next stop on our two-a-day schedule. Of course, brought to you by PAC Drilling here at TCC High School, Art Tyner Field. Shannon Thomas, Chris Kale here with you. And Shannon, I'll tell you what, this TCC team, 3-7 last year, a very juggernaut second-half schedule. We got to see two of their games here live on the air last year, and man, they've got a lot of really good skill players that they lost, but they have a lot coming back, and it's all going to be the centerpiece around Jordan Cherry.
Yeah, they had a tough schedule last year, and when I say tough, I mean very tough. And then on top of that, they started getting some injuries. They lost some kids, so they didn't have the depth because, it is a small school. But, they overcome. They had 3 wins, but, man, they're really looking good with a lot of skilled talent back. They're deep, in the skilled positions. They got some good linemen back, and the schedule is more to their liking this year. They're not going to go and run into these huge hammers that they did last year.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And when you look at last year's season, they defeated Fisher Catholic right off the rip in week number 1. Then they went on a 5-game slide before they beat New Cumberstown in week 7, Strasburg in week number 10. When you look at some of the players returning, like we had talked about, Jordan Cherry, Thane Mahaffey, just a workhorse on offense and defense. And most of these kids for TCC do have to play both ways. Jamison Sedlock on the offensive and defensive line. Gavin Douglas is a beast. Chase Sikansky going to be huge on the outside. Kid's 6'5", and he can fly, but he only got to play in week 10 last year because of a shoulder injury. So he's looking fine and spry. They got some kids coming in. It'll be nice to hear what Coach has to say about his team coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, like you said, Chase Sikansky, he had that shoulder injury. He's back. That's a big target for Jordan Cherry. Thane Mahaffey, you can't say much more about that kid. I mean, he is physical offense, physical defense. He doesn't know when to let up, so things are looking good here at TCC, and we'll see how the coach has them prepared for this season.
Welcome in head coach Casey Cummings of the TCC Saints. Coach, getting into your 11th season here with the Saints. Talk about last year. I know it was a season of kind of ups and downs for you guys. You finished up at 3-7 on the year. Lost some good players, but, man, you've got a good core coming back.
Yeah, we got a good group coming back, and, we had a good football team last year, but we played a lot of D5s, and we got eliminated by D5s, so – we backed off our schedule a little bit this year, so we'll see how that works for us. Obviously, we got about anywhere between 20 and 22 kids out here, so, we need to back off of it. I mean, it's just where we're at. I mean, it put us in a bad situation going into the second half of the season last year, but, we battled. We found ourselves at the end of the year a little bit there, so.
Coach, bringing Jordan Cherry back, obviously, at the quarterback position, that's 1,500 yards of passing, 300 yards of rushing offense. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more out of number 1 this year. Thane Mahaffey's been a beast for you guys for the last several years. Chase Sikansky, if you can keep him healthy on the outside. Lucas Dumermuth, Jamison Sedlock, Gavin Douglas. The list goes on of quality, solid athletes you have here at TCC.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of depth. We talked about that, but Carson Norris, Zane Norris, we got some good football players around here. This guy right here, Jace McCollins, he come in. He's a good player for us. Kenton Reniker, these guys all played all the time last year, a good bit up. Kenton was a starter last year as well. So, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 guys out there right now that started last year, never ever come off the field unless they were injured. Last year, our interiors was depleted because we had a transfer rule where we had a couple of our best linemen who couldn't play in it, the second half of the season.
Right.
And then we had some issues with a couple other guys, but our offensive line is big, and I mean we just got to stay healthy. We got a little bit of flexibility with 20-some guys, or some guys that can move around and give us some flexibility, but at the end of the day, it's can we stay healthy, and hopefully by backing off our schedule, but we'll be able to do that. Now we still got Wheeling Central week 3. That's going to be a that's going to be a rough go.
Well, Coach, and talk about your schedule. You start out at Lancaster Fisher Catholic, then you head to Grove City on Saturday, or actually you've got Grove City here at home on Saturday, and then at Wheeling Central. Week 4 still a question mark, and then you go to Tusky Valley, and then you start that big IVC schedule in the second half. But quite a few games on the road to start the year. As of right now, you have 3 of your first 4 away, but closing out the year, you're in the friendly confines right here at Art Tyner Field.
Yeah, we catch Trail here, and we catch East Canton here, and we catch Malvern here, so that's a big bonus. That's a big help for us, and we think it is. Hope it will be, but yeah, we go on the road. Obviously, that Lancaster Fisher game's turned into a pretty good rival for us, and you know, their school is built exactly like this one. You know, everything's exactly the same, built with the same blueprints at the same
No
time.
kidding.
You know, yeah, exact same thing. You know, but in the football part of that, you know, we played them. My first year here, my second year here, and then we picked that rivalry back up like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's been pretty good, you know.
Coach, you talked about, you know, having kids in the weight room and having a lot of kids here and showing up when you're doing some 7-on-7 work and whatnot. Just talk about how you've had these kids all buy into this program. And, look, they're here every day, and they're ready to work, and they're ready to play coming up in 3 weeks.
Yeah, we ain't 100% satisfied. You never are. You know, you got guys that bail on you from time to time that kind of irritates you a little bit. But, you know, there's a lot of nights here on Friday nights and on you know, on Thursday nights we'd come in here and we'd have, you know, an 18, 19-man roster at the time before it extended out to the 22. But you'd have, you know, 15, 16 of these guys here. So that's buying in. There's no question about it. So, yeah, we, you know, I think that we got a shot at being a decent football team. I mean, how good we can be, that's yet to be seen, you know.
Time will tell, right?
Exactly.
Well, Coach, thank you, as always, for opening up your doors and allowing us to come here and cover the Saints. We look forward to covering you all season long in your 11th year. We wish you and the Saints nothing but luck. And, of course, thank you to your staff, the administration here at TCC. We appreciate the hospitality always.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys coming in, giving us a little bit of PR, and we thank you.
Thanks, Coach. That was head coach Casey Cummings moving into his 11th year. Can you believe Casey's been here 11 years already, Shannon?
Yeah, you know, I've always said Casey is one of my, you know, favorite coaches in the area. You know, he's very, I don't know, high-strung. He's exciting to watch on the sidelines, and he gets the most out of every kid that he's got. You know, he could have 15 kids, he could have 25 kids. Every kid gets his attention to detail, and he brings the best out in them.
Yeah, and he will always give us the time. Anytime we want to come up here and talk, he will absolutely give it to us. But when you talk to Casey, you're going to get maybe not the answer you want to hear. You're going to get the truth. That is one thing about Casey Cummings, is he's going to give it to you. But TCC looking really strong this year. Still a question mark over that Week 4 schedule right now, or Week 4 date. More to follow on that as we get closer through scrimmages and whatnot throughout the season. But TCC looking to build on those 3 wins last year. I see definitely more wins in store for them this year.
Yeah, you know, Coach likes what he sees right now. He said they're working hard. They had kids show up throughout the whole summer, you know, missing some kids over vacation time, but that's expected. You know, but he's liking what he's got. He's got a bunch of talent surrounding Jordan Cherry this year. You know, he brought up Zane Norris, Jace McCullen's coming in. You know, Chase Sikansky's healthy. Dane Mahaffey's healthy. So, you know, they're looking good right now.
And it's just like with all these smaller schools, right? When you're pushing 20, 22, 23 kids, injury bug is always the biggest thing, right? If you can stay healthy, I like TCC to be in every single game on their schedule. If they get the injury bug, it could be a long season for the Saints. That's going to wrap us up here at Art Tyner Field in 2-a-days. Next stop is on the way.